Hello future tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. At CloudFoundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds. Join us as we dive into SailPoint, an identity governance technology, and discover how it helps businesses manage security and compliance.
So, guys, yesterday we have completed the SailPoint installation chapter in a Hadibari. Maybe I was not able to clarify all of your doubts, so we can resume the session from where we left yesterday. Before that, let me make a note of whatever chapters we have covered. Let me make a note. We talked about the L point advantages and concepts, and we talked about IH2 terminologies. We talked about software and hardware requirement. And SailPoint installation, IHQ installation. This is what we covered so far. Two things are pending from my end. One, how to build, how to extract the WAR file manually. Two, how to generate those scripts if those scripts are not available, correct? So before getting to that, if you have any questions, are you able to install SailPoint successfully? All of you, because it's mandatory, guys. Try to install SailPoint on your machine so that you can practice on a daily basis. If anything goes wrong, if you are facing any technical issue, we can look into that and we can fix that. You will learn a lot. So that's the major. Go ahead, Rakesh. Yesterday I tried installing the SailPoint on my machine. When I copied WAR file into the Apache server, I think something went wrong and I cannot able to see all the files in another SailPoint. Can I share my screen now? You have placed the WAR file inside Web Apps folder and that IHQ folder automatically created. But what happened when I copied the WAR file into the Web Apps? I think I thought something went wrong and I cancelled it while it getting copied. Select within control. If you interrupt the progress in between, then we can delete this WAR file and you can replace it again. I tried deleting it, but it is not getting deleted and even Identity IQ folder is unsponsored. You cannot perform the deletion. Since the services are running in the background, you cannot delete this IHQ WAR file. Maybe you guys will learn if you are going to perform any changes in the IHQ WAR file, maybe sometimes you have to replace the WAR file as part of the deployment process. Sometimes you are a developer based on the stakeholder requirement. You build something to fulfill their requirement and you have to deploy those changes into production environment. Sometimes some XML deployment is enough. Sometimes you have to build a WAR file since it has some Java class file. In that scenario, whenever you are going to replace the WAR file, so this is the existing WAR file, you have to replace the new WAR file to apply the changes, to deploy the changes. So in that scenario, always remember first you have to stop the services. What is WAR file contains, Rakesh? The WAR file contains XML scripts as well as some Java class file. So can you stop this Apache Tomcat services? Before that, let me try to show them. Can I stop it? No, don't stop. Can you minimize this first? I can't take control on this. Now let me try to delete this WAR file or maybe this identity IHQ folder. It won't allow. The action can't be completed because the file is open in the app patch, Tomcat or something. If I'm going to try to delete this WAR file, it won't. Oh, it appeared. So now what can we do? You have to stop the services to delete this identity IHQ folder. Can you stop the services? Minimize this. So just give it a try, it will delete now. So now you can replace the WAR file once again. So additionally, we will learn how to extract this WAR file manually. Maybe how to deploy our application manually. What is a WAR file? So it's a SailPoint, software binaries. It's a SailPoint tool. So we are going to deploy our SailPoint application. And WAR file is nothing when it comes to technical part. So it's a combination of XML script, some required configuration file and some Java class file. So now you have replaced the WAR file. As we already said, we have to deploy our application. That's the purpose behind this. That's why we replace our application into application server. So now the folder hasn't created automatically. So we'll wait couple of seconds. If it didn't, then we will follow the manual process. Anybody knows why the folder hasn't created automatically? I guess Tomcat services are not running. Your voice is too low. Can you be loud? I guess Tomcat services are not running. Exactly, Tomcat services are not running. So now, if you want to deploy this manually, you have to create a folder manually. First of all, Identity IQ. Inside this Identity IQ folder, place this WAR file. Now open command prompt. So now change the path, or maybe you can use type CMD from here. You can access the command prompt. Change directory. Change directory to this path. Now you have to extract this WAR file. To do that, you have to use the command called jarxvf. Whatever file you are going to extract, you have to type. This is the file name, jarxvf identity icore. So just enter. Once you click enter here, you could see in this place some folders, some files will get created. See some folder. Lot of items will get extracted from that WAR file. So it is a manual process of deploying our application. You got it. Most of the important file resides inside this webinfo folder. So Praveen, are you clear? Now another one. So one item is clear. We have to discuss about how to generate these scripts. So let me open my skill once. As I said already, you have to create the script from scratch, which is next to impossible. So if the file is not available, so what you can do? You can generate these scripts with the help of some commands. Let's talk about that. And based on the requirement, you may additionally add some table, additionally call, add some column. Or you may be modify, remove based on the requirement. So here we are going to create the table. The table name is simpler trigger and these many columns we are going to add. We are going to create index. So this is application activity table where we are going to add these many columns. Something like that. If the script is not available, then change open command prompt using this path. Where we are going to use these scripts, Abhishek, we are not going to use. So, as part of the installation infrastructure team and architect, they have to create the database to store all IAQ data. So, while creating the database, you should know you are going to use some detailed script to create the database. So, that's the file, this one. This is the file. So, change the path to database directory. After that, you have to use the command called I think not database. But let me give it a try. The command is IAQ schema. So database is not the folder. I think it's bin folder. Which means not database. You have to go to bin folder. So using bin folder, open the command prompt. Use the command called IAQ schema the moment you are going to hit enter. Inside this database folder, scripts will get generated. So as of now, you can check the timestamp. I'm going to hit the enter button. It will generate the script. So generating database scripts for MySQL or for all other different server it will generate. You got it. How to generate the script? Now go to database folder and here you could see. With today's timestamp some DB scripts has been generated. If you want, you can compare both the files. These two files you can compare. .mysql and .mysql. Let me highlight that. This one and this one. Guys, try to compare both the scripts. Rakesh, what is the production server that we are using in this SQL? Come again. What is the production server? I didn't get it, Kaushik. Production server means. You mean the same. Whatever changes you added deploying in here. So are these changes in the server in the backend? Yes, it will reflect. Because we have some IAC property files and we have nowadays in real-time project, we are following the SSB concept that we standard build. So it's already interconnected, which means all the changes will reflect immediately on the particular server. Let's say tomorrow, if they are going to upgrade this database or maybe they are going to migrate from MySQL to Microsoft SQL, in that scenario, where to update? You got my question? Great. Let me cover that too. Before getting to that, you guys are clear how to extract the workflow manually and how to generate these scripts. Rakesh, let's talk about. Go to classes folder. Here we have IAC property file. So this is the property file where we are going to make all the configuration changes. whenever you are going to migrate your database or you are going to change your server, whatever it may be, whatever changes you are going to do, it related to SailPoint. We have to update over here as well. We have to declare all the data source, everything. If you are going to use MySQL source, this will be your database data source, URLJDB, C driver, session factory. Everything we have to declare. If it is variable, then you have to follow this. Here you could see it's commented. So you have to comment, uncomment. If you are going to use any plugins, you have to update here as well. So these property files are very important. So Rakesh, if in case the database goes down, so do we have a secondary DV that will be, triggering the changes for the primary one? If you want to configure something like that, we can do. So do we need a database team for that? Or we can do that if we are? No, definitely. When it comes to database, we are not going to handle anything. Database team will be there. They will manage on their own. Let's say you are going to deploy some changes in that scenario. All of your services should be down. Your application server, your IQ services, everything has to be down, including database server as well. So since we are SailPoint person, we can take care all of our server except DB server. When it comes to DB team will take. You have to drop an email saying please in these. They will already know whenever there is a deployment changes, we have to inform them to shut down the services. How about the application? It's the application. We are the application team, So we have to manage. We have to stop ourselves. You got it, guys? Rakesh, if bar file is not there, to whom we can ask? Maybe you can check with your coordinator to provide these software packages. When we are performing this installation on real time. For client, if it is not there at that time, to whom we can? In that scenario, you have to get it from the SailPoint team only. From the SailPoint team. Or from the client. No, SailPoint team only. They are going to help us to provide those words. So question on that case. But we are not the one who is doing those installations. It will be infrastructure team. So guys, 1 second, I'm saying we are not going to perform any of these installation in real-time corporate environment. Try to get that. We may involve in some activity, but we are not responsible for 100%. So again, infrastructure team will be there. They will install everything on their own. As an architect, maybe you will involve when it comes to monitoring and all. Apart from that, nothing. You're not going to do. When it comes to interview, this will be helpful, guys. In the interview, they may ask you, do you know how to install SailPoint? If you are a fresher or if you have 2 to 3 hours, 2 years of experience, they may ask, but we are not going to perform this in real time. Can you stress on those particular things? Come again. Can you strike some particular questions what they're going to pose in interviews? We'll talk about that later. That resume preparation and interview questions. It depends. How many years of experience you are going to mention in your resume? And whatever key points you are going to mention. So what was your day-to-day activities? Whether you have what kind of changes, what kind of customization you have done. Something like that. We'll talk about that later. So guys, once we complete the installation, you need a credential to get into this application. From where you got this credential? I believe these are the default password for password and username for SailPoint. The default password, I agree on that. But somewhere it got this identity got created. Without getting this identity created, you cannot log in into your application. If you're using SBA admin to log in into this application, not only this application, whatever application it may be, some identity in the back end the user upon got created. That's the reason you are able to log in. So from that, when this identity got created, they have followed all the. I didn't get it, guys. Can you elaborate? That's with the XML that's been created in the webinar folder. Because these kind of questions may ask in the interview. It's a default username and password that is get created. I agree on that. It may be default password, default credential. But it should have created. Someone has to have created this identity in the back and the user upon. Consider SBA admin is a user account or system upon whatever it may be. Someone has created in the back end. So yesterday we followed all these steps and we have installed SailPoint. But we didn't create this SBA admin account. SBA admin identity. So you shouldn't consider this is a default one. Or it's a birthright, something like that you should. You should ignore that. Somewhere these account got created. Have you closed the command prompt? Whatever we performed yesterday. I do still have it, I think here. Oh yes, thank you. It didn't close. So, guys, yesterday we have imported some configuration file. Once we created the database, we have imported some configuration file called any.xml. Do you remember? Open that. So, go ahead. That's here. Let me try this. So while importing the configuration file, we have imported one identity also. We didn't create that identity. We didn't make any optimization. Just we have import that existing identity. So the identity name is SBAdmin. And here, whatever you are saying, task definition, task. Workflow registry rules. So these are the identity object name. And this is the object name. Identity object. You guys know? So now try to search with identity. SBA. You guys understood from where this identity got. Came to the picture. Capability. So these are the connectors. We have imported these many connectors, guys. Have a look once. So like Active Directory. Up. So you should know from where these connectors got. Configuration. Identity colons blind. This is out of the box identity. So this identity we have imported, that is the reason we are able to log in. You got it now. What is the password? What is the password? We will talk about that too. That's a good one. So now you are able to log in into this application. Go to Identity Warehouse. Here you could see you have only one identity, Cosby Admin. Got it. So you understood, SBA admin is the username, but you are not sure about the credential password. So usually I will go to this database from where we can fetch it if it is our local machine. In real-time project, they may have some password, vault, and all from there you can retrieve. So what we have seen in the console is identity followed by object name. That identity colon SBA admin you are referring. So identity is the object type. You may call it as identity object. Colon SBA admin is there. SBA admin is the object name or a file name. So can you expand this and can you go to identity table? SP underscore identity table. I'm not able to take control. Identity. Can you expand this IAQ database? Not IdentiQ. Scroll down slowly. SPT underscore identity is the respective table name for identities. SP underscore identity. Scroll up, scroll up. Scroll up, scroll up, it went down. Up, it will be. It is a. SPT underscore. We have this SPT underscore identity table, little. The moment you are going to try to search, if you are trying to fetch the information from this table, you will come to know the identity what we import yesterday. Definitely it will be reflect here as well. So can you click on the table name? Select rows limit 1000 and click on the first option. The first option. So it will write some query select star from IQ, SPT underscore ITT. It's muted. No, already it got executed. So this is the SP admin information. This is the ID value. Each and every object will have unique ID value. Let me show you that. It is a grown. When you open your cell phone application, so open, that has been an identity. Was that this one here? Can you open that identity? Guys, here you could see. In the URL page, we have some unique value in the URL. Like starts with secret8, ends with SOD3. So this is the unique ID value of this object. So as I said already, each and every object will have some unique value. Maybe entitlement and some other identity object won't have this. But each and every identity object will have unique value. Remember that. Now can you go to MySQL Workbench? It's Envision tree. So here also it was a sorters R&D3. It sends with ID value. Can you scroll to right? So when it got created, when it got modified, so each and every value will be available. In real-time project, they may have hide some column name. So using this one, using this, so the name is beaming. Scroll to right. The name is beaming. So attribute declaw. The display name is the administrator. First name there. Scroll on. Scroll to left. So last. So if you have to change the password, where we can change that? I will tell you that. So we can get the password from here. So this is the password. Is it an encrypted password or decrypted password? It. Let's say you are from some application team, or maybe you are from SailPoint technical team. You guys will schedule a meeting. You will have a working session with the team. Sometimes you may require to share your password, your application password, your source data password, your database password, whatever it may be. How will you do that? Encrypt email. We can follow that method. We have any portal like CyberAir Password World for an example. We can ask them to retrieve the password from that particular portal. We can do that. Sometimes in the call itself, if you want to share the password, you can choose the first one. You can share the password in a secured email, but make sure it should be encrypted. Try to understand what it is. I hope you guys know what is encrypted and decrypted. Of course, yes, so encrypted means, you should know how to encrypt the password or how to decrypt the password. Since it's an encrypted password, how will you decrypt this? You need the private key to decrypt it. You need the private key to decrypt it. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.